Okay. Really? Really? Shh, be quiet. Come to your house and make noise. Alright, so we're going to put a calibration stick on this guy. Drag the ends to the end of this meter stick. The default is a meter, so if it always comes in 100 centimeters, so just make it 1. Okay, and then zoom back out of the way. So what we've got here is we've got a turntable with a laser on it. And right about, oh, right there. I'm going to start right there. So if you drag the start button over, it'll always start the video right there. Oops, one more. Give me one more frame, dummy. Right there. So, there it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to track it. And to do that, you're going to create a point mask. So then if you click on, for whatever reason, it backed up one frame. Right there. That's where I want it. So if you click on this point mask and go to Auto Tracker, and click on where you want it to click. So right over here, and then you just go Control Shift Click. And so it's going to be looking for that color. And so what I can do is you can actually click on the corners of this and make it a little bit smaller. Drag it around. Well, theoretically you can. I don't know why it doesn't want to right now. But I just hit search, and so it tracked one. Okay, it's right there. So what you can do if it loses it, you just drag this over and then search this. And it does a pretty decent job. It got ahead of itself there. So then search it again, and now it followed it pretty good. And so at this point you can just close this. That's pretty good. You could have gotten some more, but you can see it's pretty constant speed all the way across there. So what's pretty easy to do is just if you right click out here, you can analyze, and then you can just highlight the part of the data that you want to use, you know, most of it, all of it, whatever, and then analyze curve fits. And so it's linear, and so here's your slope. So it's going about 20.7 meters per second. That would be my DXDT. I will get back in touch with you. I'm pretty sure the students were using 33 RPM, and get a measurement for how far away from the wall they were, straight to the wall. We don't have that. I would like to point out that what we can do, what I forgot to do here, is I didn't put an axis on here. So if this axis, where I put it, okay, now you'll notice that these axes were negative. So now they weren't negative, they were zero, they were all positive, I think. But here we've gone from negatives to positive. So in this case we are going in a positive direction because we were headed in this direction. Our axes were getting negative, or they were getting less negative than they're going positive. So that's fine. It's just something to think about, talk about the kids about. So that's that video, and then we'll open another one here in a second. Alright, so sometimes the video will come in sideways, so you want to go to Video, and then Filters, New, Rotate, and we can rotate it. So there we go. Now, they put a meter stick on the wall, so if you grab this calibration stick, you can zoom in quite a bit tighter and get it pretty darn accurate. For the purpose of this, it's pretty close, I imagine. Alright, zoom back out. I'm going to put an origin down here at the bottom, somewhere in that ballpark ish. Okay, and then actually I'm going to move it over here just a skosh first, okay, because we can move that later. It's not that easy. So I've got a point here and a point here, and I'm going to track those 2 points and see what happens. So what we're going to do is we're going to track those 2 points. And so here we go. What we're going to do is we're going to create a point mask. And so right click, Auto Tracker. Shh, I'm talking. So Control Shift Click right there. And so it's going to follow this red, and that's pretty good. That's what I want. So I just hit search. And notice that I started and nothing's happening. It's because he didn't let go of the thing. So what I should have done, and I'm going to do in a second to show you, is I'm going to pull this guy out. Are you going to drop it or not, Jacob? All right, well, I've had enough of this BS. All right, close. Okay, so he's just about ready to drop it. So ignore that part for now. What we're going to do is out here somewhere is we're going to see where he actually dropped. Right there is where he actually drops it. So I'm going to bring the starter deal out here to there and leave it right here at that point. Okay? So we're going to do it again. So it's the same thing. You click on this guy, auto tracker, and then yeah, it's Control Shift click, and there it goes. Okay? And then you can just, at this point, you can skip that one or whatever. It lost it. That's all I really needed was the first bunch, really. We could talk about the related rate at this end of it. Apparently it lost it down in here. Okay, and that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Now, yeah, see, it completely lost it. It has no idea what it's doing at that point. Now, what we can do is bring it back then, and we can add a second point down here in the bottom end. And so you can zoom in a skosh. So we need to add another point mass. If you can't be quiet, you can go somewhere else. Okay? So Control Shift click down here on that black. And we're going to hit search on that guy. And you see it follows it pretty well. Now that's actually a really good job. And then of course that's ridiculous. We didn't need to go that far at all. Okay? So we've got this right here, and so we're tracking this in the X direction. So this piece here is what I really want. Now we only need to go over here to about 0.4. Oops, so right there. So I need to bring this piece back. Okay, and so if I'd attracted it, would have just gone from here to here. Now I can get away with that by simply going into, again, Analyze, and then just using the curve fits for this end of it down into here. Right? And then we could talk about, well, that's pretty darn linear, and we could use this values for our dxdt's at any point in time. So this would be our, these would be our slopes right there, right? So that is our dxdt. So again, that's in, did I not change that to meters? I bet I didn't change that to meters, did I? I didn't change it to meters. So what you do is click on this, change it to 1, okay? Anyway, if you come back into here, it'll have updated it, or at least it should have updated it. Oh, shoot. Get up there. So I unhighlighted my data, apparently. There we go. Anyway, so you'll see it's negative 1.27 meters per second, roughly, across that region. That's for mass A, or for mass B. For mass A, now you gotta be careful. The default is, oops, you don't want to do that. You want to come back over here. You want to go back to this guy here. You want to go back to mass A. Mass A was falling down, and the default is X. You want to make sure you're on Y position. Now, if you analyze this, it's hiding back in here. So, why are they both there? Ah! Oh, here we go. You want to get rid of the X's. There we go. So this is just the Y values. That's pretty good. So you can analyze that with a linear function again, and you'll see that it's basically negative 1.46. That's your dy dt, okay? Or dx, whichever you want. Dy dt, I guess is what I would call that. Okay? And so there's that. That's for the ladder problem. That's kind of handy. Don't have the length. The ladder, the 2x4 is here in my room. We can measure that, and I'll send it along to you as well. All right, so then this one's the cone one that video tried to show. It was pretty good until he didn't mount his camera on a stand or anything, which I thought he was going to do, but he did not, so life goes on. It's about 0.3 meters. It was just a ruler. Go video, filters, new, rotate, boom, boom. Cool. Now, this looked really good earlier when I was doing it. I was like so excited about it, and then I realized that he moved his phone a zillion times, so the video quality isn't as good. Now, up here we've got one of those, I forget what you call them, little dripper doohoos, and they did actually collect the DVDT, and it's constant. I just don't know what it is yet, so I'll get that information to you as well. So this one pretty much started playing right away, and you can see it. Right, it's starting to go up, yeah, pretty good. But he's also moving his thing. Okay, see, it's going up pretty good. This didn't work as well as I wanted because I wanted to actually trace the top of that, but there's no really good way to do that, which I didn't think about until after we started. We can probably make it kind of work, but the fact that this is moving so much, it's gonna be all weird, because this really went up relative to this location. So we'll try to reshoot this one and let you know how it turns out. Again, the idea being that hopefully we can get a little better data than what that lady had in the video, but that's how they work.